Good morning, everybody. We're back again. I'm Kezia and this is Teagan, and we want to first off start and address by our attire today. Just with the recent tiger from the Bronx Zoo contracting COVID-19, we are taking a lot of precautions here at the zoo, but we still wanted to make sure that we come and can bring some fun to you guys at home as well. So for that, we will be wearing masks and gloves for the rest of our education stations when we have animals present. We're not 100% sure how this virus can transfer from human to animal and to what animals that is a problem for, so we're just taking precautions with all of our animals today. So I hope you can bear with us. We still hope we can have a really good time, and as you can probably see, Linguine has finally popped out of his little shell here to come and say hello. So some of you guessed it, Linguine is a rat, and specifically a fancy rat. So he is a domesticated rat, which means that he is not going to be found out in the wild. Our wild rats are a little bit different, and they will be found in more urban areas like, or highly populated areas like New York and LA and places like that, in Chicago that have a large population of humans. This is due to the fact that rats kind of follow humans around. They can eat a lot of different things. They are omnivores, so they can eat a lot of the foods that we eat. So when we're running around and walking around and we don't fully eat our apple and we throw the core out, or we don't fully eat our pizza and we throw half of that out, our rats are actually able to eat all of those items, so they'll follow us and kind of pick up our food after us, and that's why they're more in highly populated areas. Did you end up getting the comment section up? Perfect. Okay, so I'll talk just a little bit more about him while we get some possible questions coming in. I love answering questions, especially about rats. Rats are actually one of my favorite animals in the entire world. I know that kind of sounds a little silly to some people, and maybe just right on the button for others. Rats are very, very social, and they can be very, very fun as pets at home. Yes, I did say that. There's not actually many animals that I do recommend as pets or anything like that, but rats are one of those that are just generally good for companion animal wise, especially when you're learning how to take care of a new animal and you're kind of learning how to start training animals, how to clean up after animals and things like that. It's a very good starter area. They are highly intelligent, so they're very good at learning new tricks, and it's quite easy to teach them new tricks when you put in a little bit of time and effort with them. They can eat a lot of different foods, like I said before, so I know every once in a while, yes, I do have rats at home, so every once in a while I'll give them a little treat that I'm having for breakfast, so they can have eggs and they can have crackers and they can have pasta and things like that. Now, I don't recommend you feed your rats that solely, but every once in a while, like a piece of your pasta or a piece of a cracker is not going to hurt them. Regularly for their diet, they will usually eat like a rat block is what it's called, and you can find that at your local pet stores and things like that as well, and they're just kind of small and hard, and it has all the nutrients packed in there for them. At the zoo, we give them rat block, and we also give them a little bit of extra enrichment every once in a while. So today he got some, what did he get? Red peppers, I think. So those fruits and vegetables are really good for them and help keep them nice and healthy, so that's what we like to do here. With any animal that you are thinking of bringing home, it is always very important to do your research. Each animal is individual, and they have individual needs as well, and they have species needs as well too. So just making sure that you're doing a lot of research on what types of things you will need at home for them before they get there, what types of bedding and things they're going to need, how much social interaction they're going to need, and how much social interaction they're going to need between the same species. So rats are very social and gregarious as a group, so they stay together and they love to have a companion. So usually when you get one, you should never just get one rat alone. you should make sure that you're getting multiple so that they can have that, build those relationships with each other. All right, I said a lot. Do we have any questions coming in?
We do. So Amy was wondering, is Linguine a boy or a girl?
So Linguine is a male. Male rats are actually a little bit larger than our female rats, just generally speaking. Our female rats are going to be maybe a couple inches smaller. Oh, yes, sorry. I'm kind of letting him hide a little bit here. We're going to let him pop out, and we'll kind of make it nice in there for him. But yeah, like I was saying, those female rats are going to be a little bit smaller, and they're going to be a lot more energetic as well. So your male rats are going to be the rats that are going to want to kind of hang out, sit, and cuddle with you. And your female rats are going to want to explore everything. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so they're going to want to explore and make sure that they're figuring out every little nook and cranny of your house. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do you know how many species of rats are there?
So currently the most we see is there's one species of wild rat, and we call that the brown rat or the Norway rat. In the beginning there were a couple types of rat, the black and the brown rat, and the brown rat kind of beat them out on like an evolutionary standpoint. So when you're out in the wild, you're going to probably notice those Norway or brown rats.
So how did Linguine come to be here at the zoo?
Yeah, that's another great question. So Linguine was a rescue from the Animal Rescue League. We get a lot of our animals from the Animal Rescue League, and we love to talk about good pet ownership and proper pets and things like that, especially when they come there, and we always just love to give these animals forever homes as well. So he lives a pretty cush life here at the zoo.
How about, let's see, does Linguine have a favorite food?
So he does. He absolutely loves sunflower seeds, and he gets sunflower seeds whenever we want to go hang out with him. And also just kind of every once in a while when we take him on programs and things like that, we make sure to stock up on a little bit of extra sunflower seeds so that he knows he's kind of doing a good job, and also that just to make him feel a little bit more comfortable in new places.
Yeah, so I wanted to let you know that a lot of people are saying a lot of great things about rats and how they like them.
Perfect.
And people that have them for pets are talking about how intelligent they are and some of the cool things that they're able to do.
Yeah, they're so intelligent. I love hearing people's love for rats. It's very refreshing to me because I love them a lot, and they are so intelligent. If you just go on YouTube and just look up like different rat trainings and things like that, you can see some really cool things. I've even seen rats play like mini basketball, and it's so cute.
So Christina was bringing up, so we know that when we talk about the Black Plague, we talk about rats. So how would they be associated with that disease?
Yeah, so they are slightly associated with it, but they are not our root cause. So the Black Plague was actually transmitted through fleas. So yes, our rats did have fleas on their body, but people did too. Blankets and other items and other animals all had fleas on them, and that's kind of how it moved so quickly and transferred, is from those fleas. So I think we put maybe a little bit too much blame on our rats for that one.
How about, what does Linguine's habitat look like here at the zoo?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So he has quite a large habitat, actually. His enclosure has a lot of like different bedding. So we give him a lot of blankets like this, but he also gets some wood chips a little bit on some side, and then he also gets a bunch of hides and toys. So rats, being so intelligent, they need to have a lot of enrichment to stimulate their brains, and if they don't, they get very bored, and that can cause some health defects in them too. So we make sure that he has different like puzzle feeders sometimes, and then he'll also get like other toys and just really nice fluffy things to kind of play with and make nice holes like this one he's poking through here.
How about, so I can see on Linguine, why does his tail look like it's naked?
Yeah, so his tail isn't 100% naked. There is a little bit of hair on there, but it's naked kind of for multiple reasons. One, their tails actually help them to thermoregulate a little bit. So what I mean by that is when it's really hot outside, he can actually open up veins and arteries in his tail to allow better blood flow through the tail and then through the body to help him cool him down. And then when it's really cold outside, he does the opposite, where he constricts those veins and arteries in his tail, and he actually stops a lot of blood flow through his tail, and that actually warms his body up a little bit better. And then it's just also good it's kind of on the ground, so less fur on the tail is always better for cleaning. And then he also is able to use his tail to kind of wrap around things a little bit. It's not 100% prehensile, but it works as kind of like an anchor, and it allows him to be a little bit more stable when he's running around and climbing on things. Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
So,
I think we're coming to a close on these questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to add? Another cool fact?
There's a ton of things I know a lot about rats. It's hard for me to kind of pick through a lot of stuff right now, but we'll just talk a little bit maybe just about his body and his head here. So Linguine, oh buddy, there you go. So Linguine's face, as you might be able to see, it's kind of pointier, and that actually allows him to get into smaller places for food and just to kind of escape and hide away from things. His ears, for fancy rats, they do have different ear settings. So his ears are actually called a Dumbo set, so they're on the side of his face and they're a little bit larger. And there's also a few more, like the standard, where the ears are right on top of the head, and there's a kind of like an in-between as well. So specifically, Linguine here would actually be considered a fancy Dumbo rat with his big old ears like that. And he looks a little chunky, but that's actually normal for rats too, especially our domesticated ones. They're gonna be a little bit thicker as well.
All right. Look, I will try to slip one more question in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that okay? So Christina's wondering, is there a difference between rat behaviors and mice behaviors, or are they similar?
Yeah, so there is a lot of difference between a mouse and a rat just in general. Speaking on behaviors, a rat is going to be more fear-based. So they're going to really make sure that they're checking everything out, and they're going to be very sure about that thing before they test it out. So a mouse, on the other hand, is going to be a lot more curious and excited, and they're going to test things out a little bit more and a little bit more frequently. There's a saying that you can catch a mouse in a rat trap, but you're never going to catch a rat in a rat trap. And that's just due to the fact that these guys are a lot more timid about things, and they're going to test that out before they go after it. Yeah, so that's kind of our main difference between rat and mouse behavior. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, everybody. Please feel free to keep posting those questions and giving us those comments. We love to be able to help answer all of those questions that you have. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, and have a good one. Bye.